I'm Eleanor, and I'm 82 years old. That's a lot of years. Enough to have collected a lifetime of memories, joys, triumphs, and yes, regrets. We all have them, don't we? Those little gnawing thoughts, the if-onlys, the moments we wish we could rewind and do differently. Most of them are small, fleeting things that pass with time. But some linger. They burrow deep, and they change you. As we stand on the cusp of a new year, 2026, there's a collective urge to look forward, to wipe the slate clean, to imagine a better version of ourselves, and that's a beautiful thing. But for me, this time of year also brings a powerful pull to look back, to confront the ghosts that still walk with me. And there's one particular ghost, one regret that has stayed with me for the last 50 years, shaping who I am, and more importantly, who I've tried not to be since. It's my biggest regret, and I want to share it with you because I believe understanding it might save you from carrying a similar burden into 2026 and beyond. My biggest regret of the last 5 decades is this: I let fear dictate my silence when I should have spoken my truth. It sounds simple, almost too abstract, but let me tell you what that silence cost me. I was in my early 30s. I had a younger sister, Clara, who was my confidant, my best friend. We were inseparable growing up, sharing dreams and secrets. But as we entered adulthood, our paths diverged. I was always the more conventional one, the planner, the one who followed the rules. Clara was a free spirit, an artist, bold and unconventional in every way. And as I built my sensible life, the steady job, the comfortable home, the respectable marriage, I slowly, almost imperceptibly, started to judge her choices. Not openly, of course, never to her face, but internally. Then Clara met a man. He was charming, charismatic, but even from the first few meetings, something felt off to me. Call it intuition, call it a sister's protective instinct. He had a way of subtly diminishing her, of isolating her from her friends, of making her doubt her own incredible talent. I saw the light in her eyes dim. I saw her vibrant personality shrink. I saw her art become less bold, more hesitant. My husband, Thomas, saw it too. He voiced his concerns to me gently. He urged me to talk to Clara, to tell her what we saw, to offer support, to simply be there for her in a way that acknowledged the reality of the situation, not just the surface-level happiness she presented. But I didn't. I stayed silent. Why? Fear. Pure, unadulterated fear. I was afraid of offending her, afraid of causing a rift between us, afraid of being seen as judgmental as the bossy older sister, afraid of her anger, afraid of losing her love, even though I could see she was already losing herself. I rationalized it, told myself it wasn't my place, that she had to learn her own lessons, that I didn't have all the facts. I told myself I was being respectful of her choices. But in my heart, I knew I was being a coward. Instead of speaking my truth, I would offer platitudes. He seems nice, dear. Are you happy? Knowing she wasn't truly happy, but accepting her superficial nod. I smiled and nodded at family gatherings when he would subtly belittle her ideas. I changed the subject when friends expressed concern. I was a bystander in my sister's quiet diminishment because it was easier than facing a difficult conversation. And then, one day, Clara was gone. A sudden, unexpected illness. It happened so fast, and I never got to tell her. I never got to tell her that I saw what was happening. I never got to tell her that I was worried, that I loved her fiercely, and that I thought she deserved so much more than what she was accepting. I never got to truly fight for her, not with words, not with honest, vulnerable concern. The weight of that silence, that unspoken truth, has been with me for 50 years. It's a phantom limb, a constant ache. I've replayed those scenarios 1,000 times in my head. What if I had said something? What if I had been brave enough to risk her anger, to risk the temporary discomfort of a confrontation for the chance of saving her true self? I'll never know. And that not knowing, that deep, hollow, what if, is the core of my biggest regret. That regret taught me a profound and painful lesson. Silence, when it comes from fear and avoids necessary truth, is a more destructive force than any argument. We live in a world that often encourages silence. Don't rock the boat. Don't cause trouble. Be polite. Be agreeable. We're taught that peace is the absence of conflict. But I've learned that true peace, deep and abiding peace, comes from authenticity. It comes from having the courage to speak your truth, gently but firmly, to stand up for what you believe in, and to voice concern when you see someone you love hurting, even if it's uncomfortable. Think about it. How many times have you held back a crucial word, a compliment that might have lifted someone's spirits, a warning that might have prevented a mistake, a heartfelt apology that might have mended a rift, a declaration of love that might have deepened a bond, a boundary that might have protected your peace? I remember another instance many years later. My daughter, Sarah, was considering a job offer that felt exploitative to me. My intuition screamed no, but the memory of Clara's situation, the pain of my silence, was fresh. This time I spoke. I laid out my concerns gently but firmly. I told Sarah I loved her, that I respected her choices, but that I felt compelled to share my perspective because I saw a pattern I recognized. It was a difficult conversation. She was initially defensive, even annoyed, but I stayed with it, not pushing, just holding my truth out for her to consider. She eventually turned down the offer, not because I forced her, but because my honest words gave her permission to listen to her own intuition, which had also been screaming. That day, I felt a burden lift. I had finally chosen truth over fear, connection over comfortable silence. As 2026 approaches and you make your plans, set your goals, and imagine your ideal year, I urge you to consider this lesson. Don't let fear dictate your silence. Is there a truth you need to speak to a loved one? Not a judgment, but an honest, heartfelt concern. A boundary you need to set for your own well-being. A word of appreciation you've held back. Is there an apology you owe, or forgiveness you need to offer, not just in your heart, but with open, honest communication? Are you silent about your own needs or dreams? Are you allowing others to diminish you because speaking up feels too risky? Are you holding back a compliment, a kind word, an encouragement? Sometimes our silence robs others of the light they need. The risk of speaking your truth is real. You might cause discomfort. You might even face temporary anger or misunderstanding. But the cost of not speaking your truth, especially when it comes from a place of love and genuine concern, can be far, far greater. It can leave a wound that never truly heals, a what if that haunts you for decades. I wish I could go back in time, back to that young woman who was too afraid to speak to her sister. I wish I could shake her and tell her, your discomfort now is nothing compared to the regret you will carry for 50 years. Be brave. Speak your truth with love and courage, even if it means risking a difficult moment, because the silence will cost you more than you can possibly imagine. I can't go back. But you are standing on the precipice of a new year. You have the opportunity I no longer have. You can choose differently. You can choose courage over fear. You can choose truth over silence. Let 2026 be the year you speak the words that need to be spoken. The words that build bridges, that mend fences, that protect hearts, and that honor your own authentic self. Don't carry the weight of unsaid truths into another year. Learn from my regret and let your voice be heard. If this resonated with you, if you felt the pang of unspoken truth, please share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment and tell me what's one truth you're resolving to speak in 2026. And subscribe if you want more of these conversations. I've lived a long life, and I believe there's still much to learn and share.